All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and checking out all things Division III soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. I am Simple Coach, and there is Jackie. In particular, I want to say thanks for tuning in to Around D3, program where Jackie tells me to say what to cover. News from around Division III soccer. So, have an exciting show this week, or this episode, because I don't do it weekly, but I'm not 60 minutes yet. So, want to talk about some coaching changes and openings that sort of been culling through and that you see announcements of since 'tis the season. I had a chance a week ago or so a couple weeks ago, to connect with Matt Baer, founder of Division III Soccer. So I have a clip and for you to hear. Great guy, great resources if you're going through the recruiting nightmare. And I'll give you some sporadic updates and some good news for this Holy Easter weekend. So, yeah. All right. So let's get rolling. Okay, so first up, I wanted to talk to you about a conversation I had with Matt Baer, the founder of DiscoverCollegeSoccer.com. I had a great talk with him. He's doing a lot of great things, especially his insights from a recruiting perspective. So if you're a student athlete looking to play in college, he pretty much has really gotten a lot of information directly from coaches and developed a program that you as a student athlete could subscribe to. So I'm just going to play you a quick clip from that interview somewhere here, or there. I'll put a link. And yeah, hopefully you can watch the interview.
And in fact, if you go to the Discover_CS Twitter account, which is our Twitter account, I posted a thread, I think, on Sunday, and it was kind of some top things that I've garnered, and just a couple, I guess, I'll go over right now. One would be, an average roster across all divisions is around 28 to 32. So just imagine they're bringing in, on average, 7 to 8 kids a class. Now, obviously that varies. If junior college is a different story, right? Because they got to. But do they have? Sometimes schools require them to have a developmental team, so the roster size is going to be higher, or whatever. This is an average, okay? Please, I know I'm always going to get people. Well, no, I've seen a roster of 60, or I've seen a roster of 16. Yes, those exist, but on average, it's generally in the 28 to 32 range. So I like to tell people, so my daughter's a freshman in high school right now. I say, all right, well, go look at rosters and see how many freshmen there are, because they'll be graduating when you're coming in. And that's going to tell you roughly how many they're probably going to have to try to replace. Now, the transfer portal has thrown all of that on its head, because what used to be 8 in a class and it was all going to be freshmen is now 8 in a class, 3 are transfers, 5 are freshmen, but then the sophomore class, junior class just lost a couple because they transferred out. So it's not an exact science, but at least gives you a good idea.
So as I mentioned, if you are the recruit, you are a student athlete looking to play in college soccer, probably the resource I've been most impressed with is DiscoverCollegeSoccer.com, founded by someone who I consider a great friend of this show, Matt Baer. He's taken, information from 150 different plus interviews that he's done over the last year or so, and created a program that a student athlete can manage their recruiting process in a self-directed way, but have all the tools and the guidance at the ready. So it's a subscription model. You can subscribe monthly. There is an annual subscription and a lifetime subscription. So, like I mentioned, he's a great friend. My goal in this is to get a discovercollegesoccer.com hat. So I am here giving my full endorsement for what he does. I will say, an added bonus is if you subscribe to the annual subscription or the lifetime subscription and you use discount code SIMPLE, as in Simple Coach, you'll be eligible for 20% discount on the subscription fee. So again, that discount code is SIMPLE, and it entitles you to 20% discount, which these days, take anything you can get. All right. So in previous around D3 episodes, I've talked about a couple instances where economics, demographics, competition have had a negative impact on a couple schools, namely Finlandia in Michigan and Cazenovia in New York. Now, having said that, we finally heard some good news. It's a tumultuous time for colleges and universities, especially as they're in a lot of cases declining enrollments. But it is an Easter miracle, according to D3ticker.com. I'm sorry, D3ticker.com. Birmingham Southern, which was on the brink of closing its doors, has announced that they will remain open. And I'm going to read you a segment from, again, D3ticker.com. Birmingham Southern will remain open after securing close to $46 million in pledges and donations as BSC, Birmingham Southern College, continues to work to get its endowment to $200 million, with Board of Trustees Chair Thompson noting, "We've been working closely with our allies in state and local government to secure bridge funding. President Coleman says the college is working to hire faculty and staff to ensure that we are delivering the full BSC experience this fall. Adding BSC will go public with the public phase of its fundraising campaign soon. State legislators are still mulling the possibility of assisting BSC, although no bills are currently on the table." So what's interesting, I mean, this is great news, right? Like, fantastic news. They have a soccer program. I actually reached out to the coaches for interviews. Hopefully we'll get something there, give them some recognition. I saw on Twitter they were like, "We keep rolling," or something like that, which was really cool to see. So that's exciting news. Again, especially when you're on the brink of closing your doors, to suddenly make an about face. It is amazing, and I don't think people realize, or maybe they do, maybe they don't. And I read something. There's an NIA school, I think it's Iowa Wesleyan, that is going to close its doors, unfortunately. And they had done an economic impact study, and they say annually a small school, and I think that Iowa Wesleyan was under 1,000 students, brings like $50 million in revenue a year to a town. So in a lot of instances, these places are not only great destinations for people because of the college or because of the university, but they have a healthy economic impact on the local communities that they're in. So it's not just about keeping kids around and being able to get them a degree and be there and not close down. It's also about what it does to the vibrancy of a community and what happens when that goes away. So shout out to Birmingham Southern soccer, men's and women's soccer. You're on my radar now for good or ill, and just really excited for that bit of news. So totally unrelated to Division III soccer is a plug and a shout out as a proud uncle to Sean Oliu, who's a musician in California. And as of this recording, later this evening, he is opening at the Ryman Theater in Nashville, Tennessee for Leanne Rhymes. And so I'm super excited for that. Hopefully I'll get some videos, some pictures. But you too can enjoy Sean Oliu as a musician, because he's also just released his first song on Spotify called Queen of Hearts. And I am going to try to play it. So I thought that was pretty cool that when I got All Things Division 3 Soccer on Spotify, I thought that was really cool, but this is way, way cooler. Again, that's Sean Oliu, his first song released on Spotify. Queen of Hearts. Check it out. Okay, just a couple of housekeeping items from Simple Coach HQ. I mentioned this a few times, and it's a shameless plug. Not only can you watch this on YouTube, but you can also go over to Rumble and see content there that I'm giving it a whirl. Try it, why not? Also, I'm into podcasting, so all these shows that you get to see on YouTube or Rumble are also available on most podcasting platforms. Give it a listen. Had a great conversation the other day with Corey Kirk at Muskingum University, the new men's soccer coach, and he mentioned to me that he spends about an hour in a car each way to get to Muskingum, and he's often listened to the podcast. So very cool. I'd also throw in, don't forget Goals TV, another platform I'm on, but probably more importantly, Goals TV is a pretty unique soccer experience, covers everything about the game, including video games stuff that is not me, but just wanted to give a shout out to those folks and what they're doing, and obviously the support they provide. In the coming weeks, I'll be doing some more interviews, Simple Coach to Coach interviews. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. It's a little tricky right now because of the spring seasons. Folks are tremendously busy, so I don't want to be that guy constantly bothering them, but I constantly bother them. So have a few coming up. Brad Bankhead at Hardin Simmons in Texas. And who else do I have? I have somebody else. I can't remember. And I just so you know, you might see me on at your school doing some Fields of Dreams. Can you say Delaware Valley University, Keene University, Centenary University? Getting exciting. Look for me. Look for the hat. So I mentioned at the start, 'tis the season, right? You're starting to see a lot of announcements for head coaches filling in spots that have been opened up since the fall. And there's, this isn't just a professional thing where coaches come and go. It also happens in Division Three. And I'm not saying I have a complete list, but I counted so far 17 newly named head coaches. Now, like I said, it's probably not reflective of all of them. It's hard to track, to be quite honest, unless I see it on anti-social media. But I just wanted to give a sample of these appointments. It's pretty interesting where folks are coming from, where they're going. Makes you. Again, I'm really into the coaching tree, so thinking about who is part of a coach's tree. But so the first one, and no coach has been named, is Randolph College. Brian O'Connor stepped down after a year for personal reasons, so they haven't named a coach. Newman University, Eric Temple is new head coach. He was a former assistant. And a former head coach at Madison College, junior college, Tim Bruner, has taken the helm at Edgewood College. So somebody who I kind of know indirectly, Johnny Raj, who is a former assistant at Fairfield University, Division I Fairfield University, has taken over at Mount St. Vincent in New York. You may have seen this. Corey Kirk, former Ohio Wesleyan assistant coach, has taken the head men's job at Muskingum University. And Edward Carte, former Trinity University, Texas assistant coach, has been appointed to the Claremont Mud Scripps head coaching job. So hopefully putting last year's troubles behind them. He's starting fresh, the program's starting fresh, and wish him all the best. Kevin Bremer, who is the assistant coach, is now the interim head coach at Haverford College. Hopefully he can right the ship there a little bit. They had a pretty rough go this past fall. And then former associate head coach at Gustavus Adolphus, Tyler Olive, is going to Hamline University. I mentioned earlier, Brad Bankhead, heading to Hardin-Simmons, comes from University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. From what I understand, this is like Luis Figo going from Barcelona to Real Madrid. But I don't know who's Barcelona and who's Real Madrid. I'm actually scheduled to speak with him, I think, this week or maybe next week. I can't remember. So I'll find that one out. Going over to Alma College, Alistair Nesby, who is an assistant at Wabash, is taken over there for a I think that was Steve So, sorry, I'm rambling. But at Loras, Sam Koenig, who came from University Wisconsin-Platteville, is taking over there for departed Steve McCarthy, who is taking over the reins at DePaul University. I reached out to him as well, and I'm hoping we can connect. Both Wisconsin-Platteville programs, the men's and women's, have taken their assistant coach and made them head coaches. So for the women, it's Eliza Denmead, new head coach. And then a Purple Raider, Mount Union Purple Raider alum, Jesse Tierney, I think I got that right, is now the men's head coach again at Platteville. And I actually reached out to both of those because I like new coaches, right? Like new head coaches, and try to pick their brains. So hopefully we'll get something there. former Widener head coach Danny Blank has taken over for the legendary women's program at the College of New Jersey. Rutgers Newark women Nate Gillardi, I don't know, who comes from Division II Caldwell University, has taken over the reins there as well. And then finally, the 17th of the 17 new head coaches that I've seen, Susan Brink, Denison University, and comes off a pretty spectacular season at Trinity in Connecticut as an assistant coach there. So those are the new head coaches. Like I said, I'm sure I missed some, but I just wanted to give shout outs to those folks and check your emails, because probably a lot of you have gotten something from me as I was putting this list together. I was like, let's do that one. Let's do that one. So, but that's not done. There are still a bunch of open spots. So that I sort of went through the job board. I used to do a year ago or so, last season, I did like a monthly or a weekly thing on jobs, but it just got to be too much of a pain to keep track of who did I mention, and so I skipped it, but figured I would do that here. So if you're happen to be University of Wisconsin Stout, they're looking for a men's coach. Buena Vista University is looking for a women's coach. University of New England, also a women's coach. I mentioned Randolph. They've hired an interim coach, but they're looking for a head men's coach. Bryn Mawr is looking for a women's coach. King's College is looking for a men's coach. Adrian College and Washington and Jefferson Colleges are looking for head women's coaches. And then finally, the last of it is Haverford College is looking for a men's coach, as I mentioned earlier. So that's 9. So in total, what you're seeing is 26. And like I said, by no means did I capture everybody. I'm sure I did injustice here, but there's a lot of it's quite a bit of movement, right? 400 some odd schools, and right there you got in 17 and 9, 26. What did I miss? Another 10, 36. Let's say 50 that I'm not seeing total movement, openings, and new hires. I mean, that's pretty significant. So, 10% every year, I guess. Maybe this is a trend. I don't know. Wish all those new coaches all the best with their programs. And like I said, check your emails, because you might be on my radar. Okay, so that wraps it up for today. Quick and dirty. I keep track of this news when I think I reach a critical mass or I get an idea. Then that's when I roll out another episode of Round D3. Couple things before I go. One is, it matters for me, so that's why I'm saying it. It is Easter weekend. One of the holiest of the holies for Catholics, a lot of denominations, but particularly for me and my family, a significant time of the year. So whether you believe or you don't believe, what have you, I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, wishing you a blessed and Easter, and our find some peace in the chaotic world that we live in these days. That was the good one, and hopefully this extends to the next news. I'm recording this, like I said, on Easter weekend, the Thursday, Friday of this following week, so the 13th. Unfortunately, the chief dog officer, Jackie, is going under the knife. She has a number of little health issues that we're trying to resolve, and her vet said that it's probably best if they just do surgery. So it's not obvious from the last comment about it being, wishing you a blessed Easter, as someone who believes in the power of prayer, I will gladly, and I'm sure Jackie does, take your higher power supplications for a good outcome for Jackie. I'm sure it's not going. I'm sure it'll turn out well, but you just never know. So, any good thoughts, vibes that you could send to that beautiful little lady there in the chair would be very much appreciated. In the meantime, thanks for following. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for your emails. They mean the world to me. Do appreciate you taking the time and watching and tuning into this episode of Around E3. Later. If you like this show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. You can also find me on anti-social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks. This is a message from my team.